a long 2022, it all comes to an end tonight. It's NAPA Auto Parts Championship night. So for this pit preview, we're going to start off in the SK Modifieds where Kyle Rickey's standing by with our runner-up finisher from last Friday.
And Bonzo were able to catch up with last week's runner-up finisher last Friday night in the SK Modifieds, Troy Talman. And Troy, that's 3 runner-ups this year for you in 2022. That a good thing, or is it just getting frustrated now?
You know, now I guess it's a little frustrating. No, it is, because that could just easily be 3 wins. But you know, on the bright side, we're right there. We're knocking on the door. You know, the opportunity's right there. I just need to do a better job closing. Like last Friday, I think I gave that away. I gave Marcello too much room. So now, you know, I take it as a learning experience and you know, put that in the back of my brain, and hopefully, you know, I'll execute better next time.
Last week, cool conditions here at the racetrack. We expect those same cool temperatures later tonight when the feature rolls around. Do you prefer the cold temp or the colder temperatures?
I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me. I guess, you know, the engine builders say that the motors run better during the cooler nights. Yeah, I don't have really any preference. I don't know if it is that big of a difference handling wise. You know, last week we've pretty much been running what we've been running during the summer, and that seemed to work.
Looking for that first win here tonight. How would you sum up 2022 as this is our final night of the season here at Stafford?
I think it's been a leap in the right direction. Good learning experience, and I just hope to, you know, keep up the success going into next year.
Best of luck to you here later tonight.
Thank you.
Troy Talman coming off a runner-up finish last Friday night. Let's hear from a late model driver now, also coming off his best finish of the season and looking for that first win of 2022.
In the last 3 races, one of the more consistent drivers has been the 10 car, driven by Wayne Corey Jr. Now, last time we talked to you, you were talking about how you kind of struggled this season, but last 3 races, 3 top 5s, including a 2nd place last week. What has changed?
Pat and Gary have just worked on this car constantly all season long. Just never stopped trying new things, and you know, a few small adjustments here and there along with a little bit of luck. I think it was really all that it took. So I think we knew that we had all the pieces all season. We just needed to put them together and put ourselves in a position to be competitive.
Last week, you had Tom Fern riding your bumper. You were saying that you couldn't really be too aggressive with him because he kind of helps out the team and such. But what more do you need handling-wise, if anything, to get past that 92?
I think I really think if we had a little bit longer in that race, we probably had the better car. I mean, I wasn't faster every lap, but I think we were a little bit more consistent. So I don't think we needed much. And we'll probably just come back out here, see how it is today, make a few small adjustments, and hopefully we'll have a car to beat tonight.
Weather-wise, how do you think the track's going to handle?
Probably similar to last week. Feels a little warmer right now, but I think it'll probably be pretty close to last week.
Well, if it's close to last week, you better watch out for that 10 car.
I know we had the modifieds here last weekend too, so but we had some rain this week, didn't we?
I think we did. I don't know. Mother Nature's been pretty crazy this week, but he's been close before. He's trying to get his first win of the year. Wayne Corey Jr., the 10 car, looking to reach victory lane. Now we're going to switch to the SK Light Modifiers, where Kyle's standing by with one of our championship contenders.
In Bonzo, we have a 3-way battle in the SK Light Modified division for the championship, and while many will be watching the Tylers, others will be watching Alex Pearl. But you are 3rd in the standings, posted on social media this morning that you need a miracle. But with the deep fields that we're getting in this division, that might not be out of the question. So being 3rd, 30 out, how do you approach today's race?
Just go into it like every other week and try to win. Just the last 2 weeks, we didn't perform up to our standards, so I wish we were in a little bit better of a spot going in, but I'm just really thankful to be in this position and have a shot, and we've been really close the last couple of years, so hopefully we can have a miracle and something happen. So,
no matter what happens here tonight, top 3 in points in the championship battle all year, how would you sum up this season for you?
A lot of up and down. Beginning of the season really didn't start out that good, but it's a testament to our team to be in this position at the end of the year, and I feel like we made up a lot of points, passed a lot of cars this year, and I learned a lot, and I'm just really thankful, and hopefully we come out on top tonight.
Cooler conditions here tonight. We had that a little bit last week here when the SK Lights ran last Friday night. How does that change the setup of how these cars drive?
Well, hopefully it goes better this week than it did last week. I think we'll be good tonight, and yeah.
It's Alex Pearl running for a championship here later tonight in the SK Light Modifieds. Now let's hear from a driver running for the second spot in the street stock standings with Bonza.
The last 2 weeks, Burt Willett has seen 2 second-place finishes in the street stocks. Before that, you had to start in the back a couple of times and work your way forward. So to close out the year, what more do you need to get to victory lane for the second time this year?
Just keep doing what we've been doing. I mean, we've had great speed the past couple of races. We just kind of gotta keep doing that. We need to be packing one more good result. You know, me and Paradise have a good little battle for second place in points going, and I just really want to get to that for my guys. You know.
Handling-wise, how's the car been? Look back to last week. What more did you need with this car driving-wise to get to the 11 car?
I feel like I need a little bit more of a run. I feel like I was just starting to really get kind of chomping at him a little bit. You know, I think we were a little better in the long haul where he had the instant speed right away. So I wish I could have had a few more laps going. No.
So how much does this car react when it's a lot colder? Because this week and last week, it's been a lot cooler than it was the previous couple months.
Oh no, it's cooled down a lot. I've had to snug her up a little bit, especially, you know, like last week when we run under the lights, you gotta make a change. That track is changing quite a bit from what it is early in the day. I mean, I noticed a difference just from the second round of practice to heat race. Never mind, heat to feature.
How does it change?
For me, I think it frees up. So normally I'm looking to tighten myself up in some way, shape, or form as the track cools off and it grips up and you gain all that power.
Well, the street stocks are first up tonight, the first feature in our season finale, NAPA Auto Parts Championship night. So that'll do it. It's time for heat races. If you're not here, be here. And if you are here, let's go to Kyle Rickey in the booth.
All right, thank you very much, Bonza Tufa, and good evening, everybody. And for the final time in 2022, welcome to the Stafford Motor Speedway NAPA Championship Night. Another banner field of cars in our pit area set to compete for the final time this season. Bonza Tufa joins me up here in the tower. And Bonza, hard to believe it is the final night of the year. A lot of storylines coming into tonight, including the crowning of the rest of our champions that have yet to be determined.
First of all, where has the season gone? We did, what, 21 full events so far this year, and we're capping it off tonight. You mentioned 2 championships on the line. The SK Light Modifieds, you have 3 drivers with a chance mathematically to win the title. You might say realistically 2 of them, but with the fields we've been having, the SK Light Modifieds, the points can swing so dramatically in one race, and that's Tyler Berry, the point leader, Tyler Chapman second in points, 10 behind Berry, and then Alex Pearl in third, 30 points behind Berry. We'll see how this feature plays out. Tyler Berry has been the most consistent driver in the last 3 races, a second, and first. Alex Pearl has kind of struggled in the last few races with a finish of 9th and 8th. Tyler Chapman is coming off a win last week.
And we have another good field of SK Light Modifieds, not the 35 that we had a week ago, but I think we're about 25, 26 cars in the pits for the feature event coming up here later on this evening for the SK Light. So enough positions on the racetrack for Alex to potentially gain those 30 points, 15 spots, and maybe pick up the championship if the Tylers have issues. Also, the limited late models, they have a championship on the line here tonight as well.
Jeremy Lavoie comes in as the point leader by 16 over Rich Hammond, who led the points for most of the season until one bad race. An accident he was involved in that was not of his doing put him back in last place, 13th place. That's a lot of points to lose, especially when Jeremy Lavoie finished third that night. That's a 18-point swing right there. Lavoie has stayed ahead of Hammond the last couple weeks, and that's why he has a sizable point lead looking for his 3rd limited late model title.
Just some of the storylines coming into the evening. I want to thank everybody for tuning us in on Flow Racing, and not only for tonight, but for the entire 2022 season. NAPA Championship Night begins right now with our qualifying heat races. The street stocks are already on the racetrack. 11 cars will make up heat race number 1, starting on the pole. Car 69 from Belchertown, Massachusetts, the Roy's Auto Service entry for Bill Cody.
Starting second in car number 88 from Manchester, Connecticut, sponsored by Metro Door and Ricky Breen Painting, it's Kyle Johnson.
Third starter, car 17 from Berlin, Connecticut, the Accelerated Electrical Services Chevrolet for Pat Grady.
In the 4th spot, driving car number 80 from East Hartford, Connecticut, Backroads Smokin' Barbecue gives us Tyler Trott.
Car number 31 goes next from Danielson, Connecticut. It is Ryan Waterman.
Starting in the 6th position, car number 9 from Naugatuck, Connecticut, sponsored by A6A Associates, it's Bobby Sturck III.
Car number 19 is next from Plainville, Connecticut, the CSB Communications Chevrolet for Adrian Paradis III.
Starting in 8th, and car number 36 from Columbia, Connecticut, the Maine Moose gives us David Mesha Jr.
Car 16 goes next from Granby, Massachusetts, it's Jeff Aslin.
In the 10th spot, in car number 46 from Columbia, Connecticut, sponsored by Finkbines Landscaping, it's Jason Finkbine.
And then car number 22 goes up next from Pennsylvania. It is Andreas Bogie. In the 22 car, which will start the rear of the field, lined up, ready to go, Bill Cody, Kyle Johnson, front row, heat race number 1 here for the Street Stocks.
Pace car pulls off. Let's begin. NAPA Auto Parts Championship night. Bill Cody, who is looking for a change of fortune after what has been a tough month and a half, will lead the field down to the green flag with Kyle Johnson to his outside, dead even as they head to turn 1.
And there's no one with an advantage by the time they get to turn number 1, still stacked up side by side, front 2 rows. It'll be the inside that gets the jump onto the back straightaway for Bill Cody. Johnson slides in the line in 2nd, Brandon Warren in 3rd, Pat Grady in 4th.
The top 7 cars will qualify for the handicap, so track position is key for a feature that's only 20 laps. Bill Cody leads lap 1, but Kyle Johnson looks to the inside for a moment, but stays in line. The 88 has pressure from behind with the 55 looking to the inside.
Yeah, Johnson had a look to the inside for the lead going into turn number 1. It broke his momentum. He drifted up the speedway just a bit. That opened the door enough for Brandon Warren to take the 2nd spot. Waterman is now up to 3rd, and here comes Adrian Paradis, the 4th. Caution is out.
Got a spinner in turn 1. It is the 22 of Bogey going around, and that'll be our first yellow of the evening.
First of 2 heat races for the Street Stocks here this evening. One of the 3 divisions here at the Speedway where the championship has been decided. Travis Haidar officially clinching it just a week ago. Has a 56-point advantage over Burt Willett coming into tonight.
But that battle for 2nd in points
is a good one.
Nowhere near decided. I mean, you got Adrian Paradis III in 3rd spot, but just 6 points behind Willett. That's 3 positions on track. And those two have been neck and neck and pretty consistent all season long. So it all starts here in the heat race. You got to get in that handicap, get a good starting spot before you make your way to the front. We saw Paradis have trouble last Friday getting involved in an incident, a minor spin, but he still came back to finish top 5.
Bobby Sturck in the 9 car, currently 4th in the standings, and Travis Downey, who we'll see here coming up in a little bit in qualifying heat race number 2. 5th in points, just wants to finish in the top 5 after another rough couple of weeks for that 42 team.
Back-to-back DNFs, and I don't think they've really made it past lap 5 or 6. Not of his own doing, he's just running into bad luck after having such a good 2nd half to the year where he's been top 3 for most of the races, including 3 victories.
And the comeback off of turn number 4 for the restart. Bill Cody leads the field to turn number 1. Kyle Johnson to the outside. Brandon Warren right there in position number 3. And up to the 4th spot, that's Waterman and Trott rounding out the front 5.
One guy to keep an eye on for the feature is that 31 of Ryan Waterman. He was really fast the last couple weeks. It's a brand new car. Zach Robinson, the 2-time champion of the Street Stocks at Stafford, helped prepare that machine. So far it looks good, up to 3rd, trying to take 2nd away from Brandon Warren.
And that is Bobby Sturck rounding out the top 5. In fact, that 9 car is up to the 4th spot in turn number 2. Adrian Paradis will move up now into the top 5. Kyle Johnson backsliding to position number 6, just in front of Pat Grady, coming to 2 to go.
Yeah, just a 5-lap heat race for the Street Stocks. Bill Cody, so far so good, a car length ahead of the 31 of Ryan Waterman. Bobby Sturck III moves to 3rd. Adrian Paradis III looking underneath Warren in the battle for 4th. The last spot to transfer into the handicap back in 7th position belongs to Pat Grady.
Fast battle was for that 4th spot. Now it's shaping up for the lead. Waterman wanting to look to the inside of Cody off of turn number 2. Did not have enough room. We'll try it again off of turn number 4. Cody topside, Waterman to the bottom. Side by side to the line. A near photo finish there. Bill Cody will pick up the win. Or make that the white flag. 1 lap to go here in this qualifying event. So it's going to be Cody now drifting back just a bit. Waterman to the lead, and going to have Bobby Sturck the 3rd up to 2nd.
Well, Waterman made his way to the front, but he's got a little bit of pressure from Bobby Sturck the 3rd, but it's not going to be enough for the 9. Ryan Waterman takes the first Street Stock heat. Bobby Sturck the 3rd finishes 2nd. Adrian Paradis 3rd. Bill Cody falls from the front to 4th in that last lap, and Brandon Warren rounds out the top 5.
Heat race number 1 in the books for the street stocks. Qualifying race number 2 will move on to the Speedway here in just a moment. So congratulations to Ryan Waterman picking up that opening qualifying event win of the evening over Bobby Sturck, Adrian Paradis, Bill Cody, Brandon Warren. Then it was Kyle Johnson backsliding to 6th, Pat Grady 7th, Eric Finkbein in 8th, David Mesha Jr. in 9th, and Andreas Bogie rounding out the top 10. Heat number 2 about to take to the Speedway, 11 cars strong, great field of street stocks here this evening. Starting on the pole in this second qualifying event, car number 94 from Goshen, Connecticut, the New York Sports Show, providing the sponsorship for Chris Danielchuk.
Starting in second spot, driving car number 71 from Stamford, Connecticut, sponsored by Rico's Pizza, it's Marvin Minkler.
Third starter, car number 21 from Summers, Connecticut, the Tri-State Equipment Repair Chevrolet for Jason Lafayette.
Starting in fourth in car number 80 in this heat, this time I'm actually correct, from East Hartford, Connecticut, Backroad Smoking Barbecue gives us Tyler Trott.
Fifth starter, car 42 from Barkhamsted, Connecticut, the PJ Ladola and Sons Electrical Contractors entry for Travis Downey.
Starting sixth from Ellington, Connecticut, driving car number 51. Jet Electric sponsors him, it's Burt Willett.
He is second in points and will have to settle for either second or third when the day is done, because our champion has crowned that title a week ago. Car number 11 from Woodbury, Connecticut, the Haidar Construction entry for this year's Street Stock champion, and Travis Haidar.
Starting in eighth in car number 91 from Prospect, Connecticut, it's John Johnson.
Ninth starter, car number 18 from Naugatuck, Connecticut, the Tri-State Elevator and Hoist LLC Chevrolet for Cindy Sturck.
And starting 10th in car number 44 from right here in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Stafford Veterinary Center gives us Rob Sears.
And back with us for the first time since just an incredible accident about 2 months ago, car number 37 from Columbia, Connecticut, the Charlie's Towing entry for David Mesha Sr.
How about that? The 37 is back. I don't know how many people would have expected that.
After getting upside down off of turn number 4 about 8 or so weeks ago.
On roof first into the concrete wall.
Roof first into the wall. Back here tonight for David Mesha Sr. And we'll start in that 37 car to the inside of that final row as we're set for the restart this time. Chris Danielchuk on the pole. Marvin Minkler to his right elbow off of turn number 4, looking for green. 5 laps of distance here for the street stocks.
Dead even at the line. Minkler gets to the gears a little bit better on that outside line and has a half a car length into the first corner. Danielchuk slides off the bottom a little bit. That allows Lafayette to make it 3 wide.
What a run for Jason Lafayette on the inside. Danielchuk will fall the 4th, maybe 5th by the time they get to turn number 2. Travis Downey to the inside. Burt Willett to the outside. Minkler goes way wide at the exit of turn 4. Here's Lafayette to the bottom and will take command of this event.
And Tyler Trott moves up to second. The 71 car just slid up the track in the middle of 3 and 4 and opened a huge door for Lafayette and the 80 of Trott. Now here's Travis Downey underneath the 71 for 3rd with Burt Willett right behind him.
And Marvin Minkler in the outside lane. Downey to the bottom will take position number 3. Here comes Burt Willett for 4th. And Travis Haidar moving the 11 into the top 5.
Minkler will try to settle in line behind the 11. He falls from the front of the field back to 6th. Chris Danielchuk has the 7th and final spot to transfer into the handicap for the feature.
David Mesha Sr. has gained a couple of spots, and it's Cindy Sturck and Rob Sears as the race leaders come back off of turn number 4 to get the 2 to go signal.
Downey looks to the inside of Tyler Trott for a moment, but the 80 shuts the door and slides up the track. The 42 is going to give it a shot off at 2 and pull alongside Trott in the battle for 2nd spot.
Downey to the inside, Trott to the outside, 4 car lengths behind race leader Jason Lafayette coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go for car 21, Jason Lafayette. Downey up to position number 2.
I think the Downey Appreciation Club will like that one. The 42 looking for some good luck after a rough couple weeks getting involved in accidents. Burt Willett moves up to 3rd. Here comes the champion, Travis Haidar, underneath the 80 for 4th. And Trott had to really back out the gas off of turn 2.
Yeah, fell off the pace just a bit off of turn 2, lost 2 positions. Willett went by, as did Haidar. Checkered flag is up. Jason Lafayette will win this second qualifying event for the street stocks over Travis Downey in 2nd, Burt Willett in 3rd, Travis Haidar in 4th, and Tyler Trott in 5th.
Marvin Minkler ends up 6th. Chris Danielchuk has the last transfer spot in 7th. David Mesha Sr. finishes 8th. Cindy Sturck 9th. And Rob Sears rounds out the street stock heat in the 10th position. So we transfer on over to the late models.
Street Stocks qualified. They are now preparing, or will be preparing, for the feature event here later on this evening, as the late models will head out onto the Speedway next. Again, a good field of cars, 21 scheduled to go here, but it sounds like we may have lost one of those cars in practice due to an engine issue, so we may be down to 20 as the first heat race rolls out onto the racetrack. On the pole, car number 2 from Monroe, Connecticut, the Green Knolls Landscaping Chevrolet. Our pole sitter is Dwayne Knoll.
Starting in second spot from Berlin, Connecticut, driving car number 39. Sponsored by Tavern on the Tracks, it's Paul Verrecchio Jr.
Third starter, car 19 from Wellington, Connecticut, the Auberson Hardware sponsored car for the defending champion. Last week, you can say that for Michael Bennett.
Starting in fourth in car number 42 from Durham, Connecticut, DMW Graphics gives us Michael Ray.
Car number 31 will go to the inside of the next row from Shelton, Connecticut, the Life Care Family Chiropractic and Alpine Tree Company entry for Andrew Moeller.
Last week's runner-up starts in sixth, driving car number 10 from Fairfield, Connecticut. Wayne's Auto Body and the Springfield Thunderbirds gives us Wayne Corey Jr.
Seventh starter, car number 4 from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, the Commercial Development Services Group entry for Turbo Tom Butler.
Starting in eighth is our now 4-time late model champion of Stafford. Driving car number 97 from Granby, Massachusetts, Meadows Motor Cars gives us Adam Gray.
Ninth starter, car number 12 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, the Safeco Foam entry for Alexandra Fern.
Starting in 10th in car number 9 from Ellington, Connecticut, it's Josh White.
And scheduled will start in the 11th spot, car number 82 from Northridge, Mass, the Supreme Industries Chevrolet for Paula Root, but that car had a mechanical issue in practice and apparently is done for the night.
That's a rough one. Didn't even get a chance to do the heat race before something went wrong.
A couple laps in practice, and that was it for Paul. The remaining 10 are on the racetrack, set to go here. Dwayne Knoll and Paul Verrecchio Jr. make up the front row off turn 4. 8 laps the distance, and the outside lane is gone at the front of the field, although it's a lazy green from the starter stand, and it is immediately called back as the caution lights come on.
I think Dwayne Knoll knew that because he didn't really go once the 39 jumped, so we'll try that one again. Take 2. It's an 8-lap heat race. Top 7 qualify for the handicap.
You mentioned Adam Gray claiming the track championship this season. Title number 4. Comes into tonight with a healthy 56-point lead. Tom Fern racing now for the second spot over Kevin Gambacorta, who had a tough week last Friday. We'll talk more about that as the evening goes on, as the field comes back off turn 4. Take 2, much better start. Dwayne Knoll and Paul Verrecchio go back to turn 1.
Verrecchio got up to the gears a little bit better and clears the 2 on the outside line. Now it's going to be the 42 of Michael Ray to the outside of Knoll for second, while Bennett goes to the inside of Knoll for third.
Knoll back to third, finds pressure to the inside from Bennett in car number 19. Here is Bennett to the bottom, then it's Moeller and Corey side by side for 5th. Top 2 scamper away at the point, led by Verrecchio with Ray right there in second.
2 by 2 by 2 from third on back. Bennett takes third from Knoll. Now it's Andrew Moeller's turn to 31. Verrecchio gets out of shape, or Knoll gets out of shape coming off of turn 2. That allows Moeller to take the 4th spot. Now here's Tom Butler to the inside of the 2 car to take position number 5.
And here comes Alexandra Fern looking to the inside of Knoll, trying to follow him through on the bottom. Butler gets the spot. Now Fern gets the spot. Here comes Adam Gray to the bottom in car number 97. That's from about 6th on back.
The 2 has been shuffled from the front all the way back to the 9th position. Getting stuck on that outside line is not a good thing in these late models a couple laps after a green flag run. Up front, Bennett looks to the inside of Ray for second.
Bennett will muscle his way to the bottom, take the second spot away. Michael Ray will go back to position number 3. Here's Moeller to make it a 4-way race up front. Then it's Tom Butler and Alexandra Fern pulling double duty tonight in the late model. We'll see her on in the limited late model later on in the evening. She is just now ahead of the Adam Gray car as they go back to 1.
Halfway through this heat, 4 down, 4 to go, and everyone's pretty much bunched up single file. Here's Bennett to the inside of Verrecchio for the top spot. Verrecchio tries to pinch that 19 down. They rub doors a little bit. Bennett to the lead, and here comes Michael Ray.
Michael Ray back to the inside of Verrecchio for second. Moeller nowhere to go, right there in position number 4 in car number 31. Then it's Tom Butler a bit out of shape. Here's Alex Fern throwing it to the inside to work her way into the top 5.
That might give Verrecchio a shot to get to the bottom and get in line, and he does so in the 4th position. The battle is on for 5th. Alex Fern to the inside, Tom Butler to the outside with the champion Adam Gray watching.
Adam Gray just outside of the front 5 in car number 97. Now looks to the inside of Butler for the 6th spot. Battle for 3rd, just in front of Alex Fern. That's Verrecchio and Moeller. All of this well behind the race leader Michael Bennett, who is about to receive the white flag.
It's been a rough year for Bennett. He's looking to end it on a high note. Back in 3rd, Moeller has gotten sideways a few times off of turn 4, and that's why Verrecchio is taking a look to the inside going into turn 1.
Verrecchio to the inside, Moeller to the outside for about the 2nd time by. Verrecchio gets the spot. Fern wants more going into turn 3. Had a look to the inside of Verrecchio for 3rd. Verrecchio out of shape, saves it. Fern to the inside for the 3rd spot as Michael Bennett takes the checkered flag and the win here in this late model qualifying event.
Well, that got a little hairy in the final corner of the final lap, but everyone kept it straight. Michael Bennett takes the win. Michael Ray finishes 2nd. Alexandra Fern finishes 3rd. Verrecchio pulls alongside the 12 there for a moment after that close call on 3 and 4. Verrecchio settles in 4th spot. Adam Gray finishes 5th. Andrew Moeller 6th. Wayne Corey Jr. gets the last spot to transfer into the handicap at 7th. Tom Butler, Dwayne Knoll, and Josh White round out the 10-car field.
And we'll have 10 more about to take to the racetrack. Good run for Alex Fern, having to come from deep in the field. Does not have a whole lot of late model starts here. I believe she just has, what, 4 or 5 over the last 365 days. She ran the last race last year and a couple this year, but that's about it.
She was fast in practice, and she felt good about the car. She felt good about both cars, actually. So what did she say last week in the podium? She said she's going to try and put a spanking on them in the limited late model feature. She's won the finale before, looks to do it again, but she was very happy with the late model during practice. I think she was top 3 in both sessions before the heat race.
She'll have 2 opportunities to get to Napa victory lane here tonight. Heat race number 2 on the racetrack. Car 61 scheduled to lead the field to the green flag from North Haven, Connecticut. The Blake Company Incorporated Chevrolet for our pole sitter, John Blake.
Starting 2nd in car number 33 from Barkhamsted, Connecticut, AVI Incorporated gives us Aiden Burrell.
3rd starter, car 79 from Enfield, Connecticut, the Big Kahuna Racing and Jarmont Farm entry for Daryl Keene.
Starting 4th from Ellington, Connecticut, sponsored by Levine Law. In car number 23, it's Kevin Gambacorda.
5th starter, car 43 from Chicopee, Massachusetts, a winner here just a couple of weeks ago, picking up his first career late model checkered flag. It's Andrew Durand.
Starting 6th in car number 28 from Brookfield, Massachusetts, Curtis Construction Services gives us Mark Curtis.
7th starter, car number 17 from Milford, Connecticut, the Wayne's Auto Body Chevrolet for Wayne Corey Sr.
Starting 8th, last week's winner in car number 92 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, sponsored by King Gray Coach Lines, it's Tom Fern.
9th starter, car number 44 from Durham, Connecticut, the DMW Graphics entry for David Ray.
And rounding out the 10-car field from Goshen, Connecticut, it is the 20 car of Pat Zarella.
Keep an eye on car number 92, Tom Fern, starting in position number 8. You mentioned last week's winner. He has really come on strong here recently. Unfortunately, too little, too late to catch Adam Gray.
But you know what? At this point, you want to have the bragging rights to end the season and carry that momentum over to 2023. And that 92 has been the best car in the last month and a half. Burrell does not get going in the 2nd spot, and they're 3 wide immediately in the battle for 3rd in turn 1.
And Gambacorda right in the middle of it going into turn number 1 with Andrew Durand to the inside off of turn 2. Then it's Tom Fern, next car in line to the inside of Corey Sr. up the back straightaway as the top 2 have been able to single out for now. Daryl Keene tucking in behind race leader John Blake.
Andrew Durand in 3rd, but he's got pressure from Tom Fern, but the 92 stays in line back and forth. Keene looks to the inside of the 61 of Blake in the battle for the lead, and he had a good run last week, a top 5 finish after a rough couple races.
Battle for 3rd is on up to turn number 3. Here's Tom Fern to the inside. Andrew Durand slid up just a bit, opened the door for Fern on the bottom, and they are side by side for the 3rd spot. And as they run in that formation, it's allowing the top 2 to break away just a bit in John Blake and Daryl Keene.
But Blake is not pulling away from that 79. It's still less than a car length between the top 2. Keene has got the front bumper right underneath the back bumper of John Blake in the middle of 3 and 4, but the 79 slides sideways a little bit, losing some ground.
Lost about a car length here up the front straightaway on the race leader Blake, but quickly makes it back up in turn number 2. And in fact, gets a great run off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. Here is Daryl Keene to the inside for the lead. Side by side for only a moment. Keene to the point. Tom Fern joins the fun at the front. He's up to second.
Keene's car is rolling the center of the corner real good compared to the 61 of John Blake. And he got off the corner well enough to pull alongside the 61 and take the top spot. Back and forth, Gambacorta was leaning on the left rear of Duran coming off of 4 and pulls alongside the 43 in turn 3.
Back off of turn number 4 they come, just past the halfway mark here in this opening, or this second qualifying event for the late models as they go back to turn number 1. Keene's out front, Fern's in second, Blake falling back just a bit in third. Then that hot and heavy battle for 4th with Gambacorta and Duran. That also thins out, coming to 2 laps to go.
Tom Fern is right on the back gate of Keene, coming off of turn 4, 2 laps remaining in the second late model heat. Back in the 6th spot, Wayne Corey Jr. has got a lot of pressure from Mark Curtis. Those are the last 2 positions to transfer in via handicap.
Up the back straightaway, we'll see the white flag this time by for Daryl Keene, car number 79. Can he fend off the multi-time track champion and Tom Fern as they come off of turn number 4 in this final late model qualifying heat race? 1 lap to go. Fern looking to go wide to maybe build a run up the back straightaway.
He's got a good run off of turn 2, but had to back out of it a little bit at the last second. Final 2 corners for Daryl Keene. Fern takes one more look to the inside, riding the apron, but it's not going to be enough. Daryl Keene will take the second late model heat. Tom Fern finishes second. John Blake, Kevin Gambacorta, and Andrew Duran round out the top 5.
Wayne Corey Sr. will finish in the 6th spot. Then it's Mark Curtis in 7th, David Ray 8th, Aiden Burrell 9th, and PJ Zarella rounding out the top 10. So the late models are qualified, and now they will prepare for their 30-lap season finale here later on this evening. The SK Light Modifieds are coming up next. Want to welcome all the folks from NAPA Auto Parts, handing out some free hats at the front gate. Hopefully you got your free hat on the way in here tonight. Part of NAPA Championship Night here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
I don't think there's a hat to fit my big head, Kyle.
You said it, not me. As the SK Light Modifieds roll out onto the racetrack for heat number 1, 8 cars will take the green flag. Car number 75 will lead them to green from Windsor Locks, Connecticut. The Ferrari Lawn and Landscaping entry for Casey Vogt.
Starting second in car number 88 from Weathersfield, Connecticut, O'Reilly Auto Parts and JG Pull and Drywall gives us last year's 3-stock champion, Frank Latwell Jr.
Third starter, car number 89 from Berlin, Connecticut, the Alkis Motorsport sponsored car for Tyler Alkis.
Starting 4th, one of our title contenders in car number 7 from Salem, Connecticut, Darling Auto Parts gives us Alexander Pearl.
5th starter, car number 56, last year's champion in this division from Oakdale, Connecticut, the Doname Fishery sponsored car for Derek Debus.
In the 6th spot is the driver of the 09 from Westbrook, Connecticut, driven to cure, gives us Cassandra Cole.
7th starter, car number 19 from Meriden, Connecticut, the KC Motorsport sponsored car for Brett Casey.
And rounding out the 8-car field in car number 52, he's from Waterbury, Connecticut. Pettit Racing Engine sponsors him. It's Anthony Farino.
SK Light Modifieds, one of 2 divisions that still have to determine their champions here for 2022 here tonight. Tyler Berry comes in with just a 10-point lead over Tyler Chapman. That is 5 positions on the racetrack. Alex Pearl, 3rd in points, still very much mathematically included in the championship battle. That is 15 positions on the racetrack. But like Alex said in our preview video or preview interview with him, something's going to have to happen to both of the Tylers in the feature event later tonight for him to have a shot.
Well,
but you never know.
Last year he was in a very tight championship battle, and he seems fairly relaxed today because he knows that it's going to take a lot of help for him to be in the championship spot. But in this heat race, he'll be starting 4th. The outside line is key. He's got to push Frank Latwell Jr. though as the field takes the green flag.
Alex Pearl in that number 7 car, 3rd in points, 4th on the racetrack right now as they go to turn number 1 with Frank Latwell. Looks like getting the advantage. Alkis will go 3 wide for the top spot up the back straightaway. Now Pearl finds himself in that 3 wide battle for 2nd as Casey Vogt backslides to fourth.
That 75 was a sandwich for about half a lap. Then leave the sandwich, falls from first to fourth, and it might get worse. Derek Devis looks to the inside for a moment. Up front, though, the battle continues to rage on between the 88 and the 89.
Alkis to the inside, the 12 to the outside. The 12, the race leader last time by, rookie in this division. Alkis, a winner this year, picked up his first win just a couple of months ago here in the SK Light Modified division. Looking for a heat race win here tonight. He's the new leader.
2 SK Light Modified rookies running in the top 2. And then the relative veteran, Alex Pearl, in his 5th year of racing in the SK Light Modifieds, looks to the inside of the 12 to battle for second, while Devis looks to the inside of Casey Boat in the battle for fourth.
Stacked up from second on back behind Tyler Alkis, the race leader. Here's Alex Pearl to the inside to second. Derek Devis, position number 3, or at least looking for it on Franklin 12 up the back straightaway. Cassandra Cole has her car positioned to the inside of Casey Vogt in the battle for 5th.
Top 5 cars qualified for the handicap. That's going to be critical, especially with how big a field we have in the SK Light Modified. That final spot in the transfer goes to Casey Vogt for now, but he's side by side with Cassandra Cole.
Up the back straightaway they go. Cassandra Cole, the green and white number 09 car to the inside of the red and white number 75 for Casey Vogt. That's the battle for 5th. Cole gets him at the line as Tyler Alkis leads, but has one of the championship contenders closing in, along with last year's champion and Derek Devis. Talking about Alex Pearl in the 2nd spot, Devis in 3rd.
Pearl and Devis are reeling in Alkis quick. 2 laps to go and they cross the stripe. What was a 5-6 car length gap is down to less than 1. Devis had a little bit of trouble in turns 3 and 4 and loses ground to the 7, but Pearl is still right there with the 89 of Alkis.
Further back, Casey Vogt to the outside of Cassandra Cole for the 5th spot. Vogt back into the top 5. Cassandra back to 6th. White flag for Alkis, the race leader, finding pressure from Alex Pearl at the start-finish line.
Alkis got real wide up at turn 4, and Pearl gained a ton of ground as a result. To the inside goes the 7, but the 89 of Alkis gets enough momentum off of turn 2 to clear Pearl for now. Final 2 corners, top 2 side by side.
Off of turn number 4 they come. Could be a drag race. The outside lane's going to have the momentum and the advantage. Tyler Alkis will win this qualifying event for the SK Light Modifieds. Alkis the winner, Alex Pearl in 2nd, but not by much, just less than 0.2 of a second. Derek Devis will finish in 3rd, Casey Vogt 4th, Franklin 12 Jr. will round out the top 5.
Cassandra Cole, Brett Casey, and Anthony Farina will round out the 8-car field. Alex Pearl wasn't really happy with this car last week, but this car looks pretty good in this one. We'll see what that brings for the feature.
Good run for that 7 car here in this 2nd qualifying event. Race number 2 about to roll out, and another championship contender will be among the starters here in heat number 2. That will be led to the green flag by the ladies on the front row. Car number 15, who led so many laps a week ago in the feature event. Car 15, our pole sitter here from Colchester, Connecticut, the McKinney Construction of Stafford, and sign pro entry for Amanda West.
Starting 2nd in car number 02 from Auburn, Massachusetts, Pro Paint Plus gives us Megan Fuller.
3rd starter, car number 1 from Stafford, Connecticut, the Wicked Power Sports entry for Bob Charland.
Starting 4th, our SK Light Modified Rookie of the Year in car number 44 from Ellington, Connecticut, Chapman Apartment Homes gives us Jason Chapman.
5th starter, one of our championship contenders, currently 2nd in the standings, 10 points out of the lead from Ellington, Connecticut, another one of those Chapman Apartment Homes cars for Tyler Chapman.
Starting 6th, driver of the car, number 77 from Norfolk, Connecticut, Advanced Auto Repair gives us Chris Bagnall.
Our number 5 goes next from the 7th position from Somers, Connecticut, the Marquise Landscaping and Macari Motor Sales entry for Andrew Marquise.
And rounding out the 8-car field in car number 67 from Northport, New York, Metro Garage Door gives us William Lambros.
That's the lineup as we get set for the start. Next time by Amanda West. Talked to her in the pits earlier today, says she has moved on after last week's feature, after leading so many laps, only to have some contact at the front of the field, spin her to the infield. She hopes and believes that it was an accident and that she is very confident coming into tonight's main event.
Go figure, who starts right behind her?
Bob Charland.
One who got together with the 15. It's amazing how that works. Pace car pulls off. 8 cars ready to go at it for 8 laps. top 5 transfer in the handicap as the green flag waves. West and Fuller dead even into turn 1.
Side by side they go into the corner. Meg Fuller, high side momentum. Amanda West, shorter way around. Charlane's up to third over Jason Chapman. And Tyler Chapman as the top 5 begin to break away from the rest of the field, and they are still dead even at the front. Off of turn 4 they come. Lap 1 in the books goes to Meg Fuller.
Fuller gets the momentum on the outside line, helping her lead that first lap. She's got a good rocket off of turn 2. Clears West by a couple of car lanes, and here comes Charlane to follow through.
Charlane up to second. Amanda West back to third. Then it's Tyler Chapman, a bit out of shape. Had a run in the outside lane, backed off just a bit, falls in the line in fourth in front of brother Jason Chapman in fifth.
A little bit of a close call between the 15 and 41. I think the 41 checked up as a result, but he quickly reels in the 15 once again, the battle for third. But up front, Charlane takes a peek to the inside of Fuller.
Megan Fuller out front, Charlane in second, battle for the lead. The top 2 broken away by about 2 car lengths from Amanda West in third, and Tyler Chapman in fourth, as Meg continues to hold the top spot, bottom of the racetrack. Charlane run, outside lane, crossover into turn number 3. Can't make a move, coming to halfway.
Charlane washes up the track a little bit, but keeps the momentum going. Fuller gets a little bit of a wiggle coming off of turn 4, and the top 4 are all bunched together now. It's Fuller, Charlane, West, and Tyler Chapman all together.
Jason Chapman, that is, rounds out the top 5 in the first car, not a part of this battle. He's about a second back, running unchallenged in fifth as the leaders come to the stripe with 3 laps to go. Megan Fuller has led them all thus far and leads by 2. Make that a car length now, as Charlane really closes the gap once again off of turn number 2. In turn, pulls away from Amanda West in third.
Charlane is running about a lane higher than Fuller in turns 1 and 2 and in turns 3 and 4, but he really gets a lot of momentum coming off of turn 2. He's going to run a little bit higher. Actually, no, of course I say that now he runs the bottom lane. That's usually how that goes. But even then, he still gets a good amount of momentum coming off of 2 and cuts a couple car lengths into Meg Fuller's lead.
Now he goes to the outside lane just a bit in turn 3 and off of turn number 4, but doesn't really close in on Meg Fuller, who gets the white flag. 1 lap to go. It's Fuller by a car length and a half over Charlane. 5 more back to the battle for third between Amanda West and Tyler Chapman.
Megan Fuller has improved a lot this season. They had car troubles last year in her first year in the SK Light Modifieds. This year, a lot better, and tonight's a good start to end off 2022 as she wins the SK Light Modified heat race with Bob Charlane finishing second, Amanda West third, Tyler Chapman and Jason Chapman round out the top 5.
William Lambros in 6th, then it's Chris Bagnell 7th, and Andy Marquise rounding out the 8-car field. We talk about Amanda and Bob. They are also racing to try to make it into the top 5 in the final standings. Right now it's Bob Charlane by 2 points in 5th over Amanda West in the 6th spot. So battle for the championship and a battle to be among the top 5 in the standings at the end of the season as well. Just some of the many storylines in this division. The third qualifying race about to roll out onto the racetrack, and again will include another one of our championship contenders, and will be led to the green by the mayor, the driver of car number 87 from East Hartford, Connecticut. Metro Garage Door providing the sponsorship for Joey Farino.
And starting in second spot, a man from Ellington, Connecticut. Car number 76, sponsored by Bowles Motors Incorporated. It's Ron Mitford Jr.
Third starter, car 39 from Danbury, Connecticut. The Lasco Roofing and Sheet Metal entry for George Bissett Jr.
Starting fourth, car number 29 from Stafford, Connecticut. Sponsored by Vernon Chevrolet. 2-time winner this year, Chris Matthews.
Fifth starter, car number 45 from New Hartford, Connecticut. The Lakeshore Benefit Group entry for Ed Chikoski.
Starting in sixth is our championship leader, and car number 18 from Griswold, Connecticut. Pro Systems Integration gives us Tyler Berry.
Seventh starter, car number 46 from Chaplin, Connecticut. It's Nicholas Hovey.
Hovey, a recent newcomer to the SK Light Modifieds at
Week
Stafford.
2.
Yeah, he said he had fun last week, giving it a shot both on Friday and Saturday. You've seen him primarily race street stocks here at Stafford. He raced street stocks for the first half of the season and had just about the worst of luck you could possibly have in 2022, in spite of finding victory lane one time. So,
every week, a mechanical issue or an incident on the racetrack.
or sometimes both.
Sometimes both. Had several of those nights. They have since made the move. They sold that car that he raced here. Jeff Asselin driving it in his, I believe, third week here at the racetrack. Nicholas Hovey making the move to the SK Light Modified, and see what he can do here tonight to the outside of the third row as we get to the green flag this time by.
One driver that has been doing really well the last few weeks has been the guy on the outside of row 1 in Rod Mitford Jr. But it's Joey Farino that gets the jump as the field takes the green flag for the third and final heat of the SK Light Modifieds.
Back to turn 1 they go. Mitford in the outside lane and very consistent toward the front of the field in the last month of the season. The mayor, Joey Farino, a race winner this season, challenging for the top spot now. Then the all-time leader battling for third, that is Chris Matthews, to the outside of George Bissett Jr.
Mitford is surrounded by a swarm of 2022 winners, but he comes out in front. He had a lot of momentum coming off a turn 4 up top and clears Farino for the lead, but Farino and Matthews are racing hard for the second spot.
Matthews in the outside lane takes third on Farino. Look to do the crossover on Mitford, just not enough room to the bottom of the racetrack and to slide back in the line in second. That might open the door up once again for Farino, who has his hands full with Bissett and Berry.
Farino is on the bottom lane, and that does not seem to be the lane to be in right now. He's going to fall all the way back to fifth, the final transfer spot into the handicap. But he gives a one final shot on Tyler Berry in the battle for fourth. They're wheel to wheel, but Berry takes fourth position.
Berry to fourth, Farino back to fifth, Nicholas Hovey next in line in sixth. Battle for the lead. Here's Matthews to the inside of Mitford off of turn number 2. Behind them, Berry and Bissett side by side for third.
Berry's been one of the most consistent cars in the last 3 weeks. A first, a second, and a second. His car looks good right now, and so does Chris Matthews. They bang Nerf bars a little bit going into turn 1. It's Mitford with a slight edge over Matthews, but Matthews really rolls the bottom off of 2 and washes up the track. Mitford has to check up.
So Berry, perfect time to find that consistency that you rattled off a moment ago in running for the championship here late in the season in a very tight battle. He finds himself on top by 10 points, currently second in this qualifying race to Matthews. Bissett now up to third, Mitford back to fourth.
Joey Farino in fifth, but not much pressure from behind with Nick Hovey in the battle for the final transfer spot. Here's Tyler Berry to the inside of Chris Matthews for the lead, and he makes it look easy. Car number 18 to the front with 2 laps to go.
For the championship here later tonight, trying to put himself in good position for the feature event. Tyler Berry at the point, 4 car lengths now in hand over Chris Matthews in second, George Bissett Jr. in third, Mitford in fourth, Farino fifth. White flag is out, 1 lap to go.
The field has spread out a little bit, but what a showing from Tyler Berry early on. Talk about sending a message. I know it's a heat race, but if his car is this good this early on, we'll see what happens when feature time comes. Final 2 corners for the 18 of Tyler Berry. The third generation driver will take the checker flag and win the final heat for the SK Light Modifieds.
Berry in for the win over Chris Matthews in second. George Bissett Jr. hanging on to that third spot with Ron Mitford in fourth. Joey Farino rounding out the front 5. Nicholas Hovey finished in 6th. Ed Chikoski crossing the line a moment ago, bit off the pace in the 7th spot.
A very stout run there by Tyler Berry. He just has to stay close to the 41 and to the 7, the big picture. But you know what's the easiest way to clinch the championship?
Win.
Win. And he got a win a few weeks ago, which surprisingly enough was his first win of the year, and it took almost the entire season to do so. But he won the season finale last year too, so he's trying to make it 2 consecutive NAPA championship night wins.
What has been a very competitive division this year. 9 winners in 18 races for the SK Lights. In fact, we have had 6 different winners in the last 6 races with Stephen Chapman, Tyler Chapman, Derek Devis, Tyler Berry, Alex Pearl, and George Bissett Jr., and Tyler Alkus.
That just shows how competitive the division has been this year.
Limited late models on the racetrack. 7 cars set to go in this first of 2 qualifying events. And on the pole, car number 28 running for a championship tonight from Tolland, Connecticut, the NAPA of Tolland entry for Rich Hammond.
Starting second in car number 23 from Canton, Connecticut, Genco Construction gives us Devin Jensen.
Third starter, car number 95. This driver has been so close to NAPA victory lane so many times this season, yet to pick up that first win. The Clement Motorsports Chevrolet, it's Jay Clement.
Starting fourth, our defending limited late model champion, at least for one more night. In car number 12 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Broadbrook Brewing gives us Alexandra Fern.
Fifth starter, car car number 59 from Wethersfield, Connecticut, the Clement Motorsports entry for Matt Clement.
Starting 6th in car number 77 from Holland, Massachusetts, Rob Russell Chassis and 5-Star Auto gives us Trinity Provost.
And rounding out the field, car number 17 from Canton, Connecticut, the Genco Construction Chevrolet for Connor Jensick.
A new Jensick on the block.
Making his debut here this season. Ari Jensick, who is the regular driver in that car down in Talladega, Alabama this weekend. So Connor will be behind the wheel here tonight in that 17.
I wonder what's going on at Talladega.
I wonder. Field is in turn number 3. Rich Hammond, our pole sitter in this event, and currently second in the championship standings by 16 points over Jeremy Lavoie. Green flag is out. We are underway, and Hammond going to get past inside and out as they go to turn 1.
Hammond got real sideways off of turn 4, but hung on to it. But look what happens. He goes from first all the way back to 5th. Alex Fern to the inside of Devin Jensick in the battle for the lead.
Alex driving on a mission here in the first lap in car number 12, right to the top spot. Battle for second behind her. Here's Jay Clement to the inside of Devin Jensick, with Matt Clement looking on in 4th. Rich Hammond has been kicked back to 5th in car number 28.
Jay Clement gave a little tap to the 23 car coming off at turn 4. That got Devin Jensick stuck on the outside line, and he got passed by both the Clement brothers. Fern leads, Jay Clement 2nd, Matt Clement 3rd, Devin Jensick 4th, and Rich Hammond rounds out the top 5.
8 laps of distance for these limited late model competitors as Alexandra Fern leads back to turn number 2. Devin Jensick has Jay Clement has stabilized in the 2nd spot. Then it's Matt Clement and Devin Jensick back to 4th. He finds pressure from Rich Hammond for that position.
Rich Hammond looking to the inside of Devin Jensick for a moment, but he'll settle in line in the 5th spot. Not a good start for the driver, coming in 16 points behind the championship leader Jeremy Lavoie, but when it comes to transferring to the handicap, he has the 5th and final spot to do so.
Large gap back to the race 4-6, Trinity Provost and Connor Jensick. They make their way off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway, but outside of the handicap as the top 5 come back to the stripe. Received the halfway signal from the starter stand. 4 down, 4 to go for Alexandra Fern, who leads the field off of turn 2.
Rich Hammond's car looks to be a little bit faster than Devin Jensick. It's just trying to be fast enough and get the run at the right time to make the move. He looks to the inside of Devin Jensick right now. A little bit of a bump to the back bumper of the 23 off of 4, but Jensick holding firm in 4th for now.
Not the start of the night that Rich Hammond was hoping for in car number 28 as they go back to turn number 2 and continuing to dig to the inside of Devin Jensick in car number 23, but can't pick up that spot. Behind them, Connor Jensick goes into 6th, but over Trinity Provost in the 77. With 2 laps to go, it is all Alexandra Fern right now at the point.
She leads by about a second over the Clement brothers. Jay in 2nd, Matt Clement about 2 car lengths behind in 95. The tightest battle still is for that 4th spot. Hammond gets right to the back bumper of Jensick, but loses ground a little bit off the corner each time. He gains so much in the center, maybe a little bump right there against the 23, but doesn't have enough oomph off the corner to try and make a move.
Devin Jensick has the oomph on the inside of the racetrack and hangs on to position number 4 over Hammond in 5th. At the front of the field, Alexandra Fern leads into turn 3 for the final time. White flag is out, coming to the checkered this time. The defending limited late model champion takes the checkered flag in the heat race win here tonight by a good margin over Jay Clement in 2nd, Matt Clement in 3rd, Devin Jensick in 4th, Rich Hammond rounding out the top 5 as the race for 6th now comes off of turn number 4. Connor Jensick will pick up that position over Trinity Provost in car 77. So it's car number 12, Alexandra Fern. Been a while since we have last seen her in Napa Victory Lane. Her 2nd win of the season and last wins thus far coming on July 22nd, but she has been close in recent weeks.
Well, she's gotten back-to-back podiums, and what's amazing is that that's the first time all year long that Alex Fern has scored back-to-back podiums, which she hasn't had the year she's looking for, but the fact that she couldn't get 3rd or better for 2 straight weeks is shocking, especially with the season she had last year. But the limited late model field is just so tight, so close. Rich Hammond said it pre-race when I was talking to him. It's just the field is so close. Every 10th counts, and it's so hard to stay consistent every week. You'll see Lavoie even run third one night and finish 8th the next night. Track position is so critical, and that's why these heat races are so important.
9 of the top 10 in points have won this season. Here they come, back off of turn number 4 for heat race number 2. 6 cars in this qualifying event. On the pole, car number 22. He was involved in a practice scuffle in the final practice session just a little bit ago. The car looks good to go. From New Hartford, Connecticut, the day's cannabis-sponsored Chevrolet for Gary Patno.
Starting second is our championship leader in car number 6. From Windsor Locks, Connecticut, Bobcat of Connecticut, and Rosati Trucking gives us Jeremy Lavoie.
Third starter, car number 10 from Litchfield, Connecticut, the JRC Transportation Chevrolet for Matt Scapini.
Starting fourth in car number 83 from Wellington, Connecticut, Stafford Veterinary Center gives us Damian Polardi.
The most recent winner in this division goes off in position number 5, and also this year's Rad Auto Machine Rookie of the Year from Agawam, Massachusetts, the Garrett's Carpentry Chevrolet for Kevin Cormier.
And rounding out the 6-car field in car number 42 from Durham, Connecticut, sponsored by Daddy O'Honey, it's Dana Ray.
And it was Dana that spun her car in turn 2 in the final practice session, and Gary Patno had nowhere to go. Locked the brakes up, spun the car. There was some contact in turn number 2, but both cars were able to pull away without the need of assistance, and it looks like they're both ready to go here for this qualifying event for the limited late models.
I told him that he needed a little bit of good luck today because he had a rough going last week. It's been an up and down year for him, and the down part has already started tonight before heats even start.
Only uphill from here for Gary Patno, who leads the field off of turn number 4. A 2-time track champion to his outside, and Jeremy Lavoie as they go to turn 1.
Dead even into the first corner. Patno has a slight advantage on the bottom lane. He'll take the top spot away. Lavoie sits in second spot. The battle is on for third between Matt Scapini and Damian Polardi.
Damian Polardi in the outside lane. Here is Scapini to the bottom in car number 10 as the top 2 single out off of turn 4 to complete lap number 1, with Gary Patno leading the lap by 2 car lengths.
Top 5 transfer into the handicap. And that battle for 5th right now, well, it's not really a battle. Kevin Cormier has the 5th spot, and it's a long ways back to Dana Ray. But Cormier's not done yet. He looks to the inside of Polardi for 4th.
Yeah, that battle is for position number 4. Polardi to the inside, Cormier to the inside, Polardi to the outside. As they come off the corner down to the stripe, it'll be Cormier by a half a car length over Polardi as the top 2 break away, and looks like they want to get racy up toward the front as well. Jeremy Lavoie closing in on race leader Gary Patno in the 22.
Gary Patno had a streak going of top 5 finishes, and then last week overheated, and that's why he ended up not finishing the race. He overheated, didn't want to cook the engine. It was up to 260, he said, on the water temperature gauge, and you really don't want to push the boundary from there.
He is out front now over Lavoie. They have been able to gap themselves over the battle for 3rd, led by Matt Scapini in car number 10. Kevin Cormier, last week's winner in car number 14. Damian Polardi, also a 2-time winner this season, rounding out the top 5 in the 83 car.
Halfway through this heat, 4 down, 4 to go. Jeremy Lavoie gets into the corner a little bit deeper than Patno, but the 22 pulls away center off. The length of gap is just about 1 car between Gary Patno, who's looking for 3 wins on the year, which I think would be a new career high for the driver for the 22.
Jeremy Lavoie looking for another championship here tonight. That would be number 3 for Jeremy, who also has 3 wins this season, looking for win number 4 of 2022, potentially later tonight in car number 6. 2 laps to go. Lavoie settling in the line in 2nd right now here in this 2nd and final limited late model qualifying event.
The top 5 have settled in pretty much. No need to drive it too hard. The top 5 are in. There's no pressure in the battle for the transfer spot, so why not take it easy and just get your car ready for the 20-lap feature.
Battle for 3rd off of turn number 2. Here's Cormier getting a good run off of the corner, but Scapini a bit quicker in the outside lane. They are nearly side by side for a moment, both a bit out of shape, and Cormier gets the better run off of turn number 4. He'll go to 3rd as we go on to the final lap.
Maybe I was wrong about taking it easy there. In that battle for 3rd, it made a little bit of contact, and it's Cormier that takes the spot. Final 2 corners for Gary Patno. Jeremy Lavoie took a little bit of a peek to the inside on the front straightaway, but backed off. Checker flag is out. It's going to be car number 22, Gary Patno, taking the 2nd limited late model heat. Jeremy Lavoie finishes second, Kevin Cormier third, Matt Scapini and Damian Pilardi round out the top 5, with Dana Ray rounding out the field in 6th.
Yep, Dana Ray, her rookie season coming to a close here tonight. Another one of those drivers graduating from the Monday night Wild Thing kart program, and it's quite the transition, going from the small oval to the bigger oval, from a kart to a full-bodied stock car for Dana Ray, who finishes in the 6th spot.
Well, for those who are watching the broadcast live on Facebook or YouTube, we're going to have to cut it short here. If you want to watch the rest of the heats and the features, you can go to flowracing.com and enjoy Napa Auto Parts Championship Night as we prepare for the SK